The Chronicles of an Analytical Wanderer. Unlocking the World Through the Lens of ASD Level 1 by Michael J. It began with a label, a name, a clinical designation that sounded as mysterious as it did mundane. Autism Spectrum Disorder Level 1. To me, it was a passport to navigate the ever-bewildering terrain of human interactions, emotions as fluid as watercolor paintings, and social norms that often felt like cryptic riddles. But this is not a tale of deficits. It's a story of extraordinary perspective, meticulous calculation, and triumphs wrapped in quiet wit and relentless determination. Growing up, I always viewed the world as a puzzle, albeit one with pieces that refused to click together neatly. Conversations were enigmatic codes. Facial expressions were hieroglyphs begging for translation. My brain, ever systematic, thrived on logic, consistency, and patterns. Unfortunately, the world around me was anything but. The first lessons came from my mother, a woman whose patience could rival that of a saint. She taught me how to decode what she called the human kaleidoscope. When someone says, "How are you?" she explained, they don't always want an honest answer about the molecular composition of your mood. It took me years to understand that the question was less about information and more about connection, a nuance I still find perplexing. School was an adventure, a battlefield, and, occasionally, a sanctuary. Math was my haven, a realm of absolutes where numbers obediently followed their rules. The same, however, could not be said for group projects. Imagine my bewilderment in trying to coordinate with peers whose ideas seemed to swing like pendulums with no anchor. My saving grace was my knack for organization. I became the unofficial spreadsheet guy, the one who turned chaos into order with a well-timed pivot table. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. My very first public speaking assignment remains etched in my memory, not as a disaster, but as an epiphany. I froze halfway through a speech on black holes, realizing I had spent 15 minutes explaining gravitational singularities to classmates who clearly preferred topics like the latest pop song or why cafeteria pizza tasted like cardboard. That moment taught me the art of brevity, a skill I grudgingly mastered over time. Navigating adulthood felt like stepping into a symphony where everyone else seemed to know the score by heart. Meetings at work turned into arenas of intrigue. Was the casual joke from the senior manager a test of camaraderie? Should I laugh? Reply? Pretend I didn't hear it? These interactions were exhausting yet fascinating, a constant game of calibration. Despite these hurdles, I discovered that my attention to detail was a superpower. On one occasion, I caught a critical error in a project proposal, a misplaced decimal point that could have cost the company thousands. My colleagues praised me for my laser focus, unaware that my brain naturally zooms into details like a camera lens honing in on texture. That moment marked a turning point. I realized that my so-called quirks were assets waiting to be leveraged. Relationships, the ultimate enigma. Dating was a labyrinth of mixed signals and unwritten rules. My first date started with a well-researched plan, including a spreadsheet of restaurant options ranked by proximity and gluten-free menu items. Unfortunately, my enthusiasm for optimization was not reciprocated. She called me too intense. It stung, but it didn't deter me. I refined my approach, learning that sometimes spontaneity has its merits, though I still carry a mental checklist just in case. Friendships, on the other hand, were a mixed bag. Some people found my candor refreshing, others deemed it brutally honest. I once told a friend that their new haircut resembled the aerodynamic design of a bird's wing. They laughed eventually. My closest friends have come to appreciate my quirks, knowing that beneath my literal interpretations lies a genuine desire to connect. My love for patterns and systems extended beyond spreadsheets and algorithms. It gave birth to a hobby turned life mission, urban exploration. Cities fascinated me with their complex networks of streets, their symmetry juxtaposed with chaos. Armed with a camera and a map, I began documenting forgotten alleyways, obscure architectural details, and the hidden logic of urban design. My blog, The Analytical Wanderer, gained traction among fellow enthusiasts, proving that niche passions can find kindred spirits in unexpected places. Through this pursuit, I learned the value of storytelling. My blog posts weren't just about angles and shadows. They evolved into narratives about the interplay of history, architecture, and humanity, a concoction that resonated with readers who saw beauty in my analytical lens. If there's one lesson I've learned, it's that ASD Level 1 doesn't define me. It amplifies me. It's the force behind my precision, the root of my humor, and the lens through which I see the world in vivid detail. My triumphs may not always be grandiose, but they are deeply felt. A promotion earned through diligence, a friendship forged through understanding, a blog post that sparked a conversation. And while challenges remain, social gatherings still feel like decoding Morse code. They are outweighed by the joy of discovery, the thrill of connection, and the quiet satisfaction of being unapologetically me. So here I am, an analytical wanderer, navigating the symphony of life with a quirky cadence and an unwavering resolve. My journey is far from over, but one thing is certain. Every puzzle piece, no matter how irregular, belongs in the grand mosaic of existence. Michael J.
Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you. Hey guys, this is Mark. Click on the join button underneath any of my videos, then click on members only videos, and then click on join. And for $9.99 a month, you'll have access to members only videos, which are excerpts from previous workshops I've conducted for NT partners, ASD partners, and the neurodiverse couple. New videos will be uploaded weekly.